sometimes when you are lost in life, I think you should go to a museum and look at art. The bigger the museum, the better. The older the art, the better. I am at the National Gallery in London visiting some of the paintings for my songs. And I think it gives you this kind of shift of perspective in life. You are surrounded by art. Again, the older the better, because it lets you think, it makes you feel that life isn't that serious, that you are actually just a speck of dust in the world. And it's going to be okay. There were so many people here before you, and they made it work. They survived, they made beautiful artwork. And also, it makes me, at least, feel grateful that I get to see all this art, that I am privileged enough to see it, to observe it, to feel connected to all the people that were here before me. And so it's, making me feel both small, because of all the history that is in this building, but also very big in a way that I am here after all those centuries or millennia, after this artwork was created, after these people lived, and I get to witness their life or their legacy, the pieces of their soul almost that they left here in the world. And it's just so fascinating. Yeah, whenever I feel lost or full of doubt, I go to a museum or an art gallery, and just being with art, again, the pieces, the determination, the witnessing all the efforts that people put in creating the beauty that I now get to fill my eyes with, is always a bit of a cathartic experience, So I am now in the entrance hall, even though this entrance is not the main entrance at the moment. I don't know why. They sent you to the Salisbury wing to enter right now. But the National Gallery has always been my favourite one, maybe because it is the grandest and in the centre of the city. But it has always been my safe space, the perfect third space for me. I always connected with art on a very deep level. I know a lot of history behind it, especially art that is inspired by mythology. I have always been a mythology geek. And so when I first moved to London years and years ago, I was very broke for the first 2 years living here. And so at the National Gallery and other free museums as well, of course, but National Gallery especially, has been the place where I could go that wasn't my work or my home, where I didn't have to spend any money apart from transportation. I would usually just take the bus, which back then was still 150. They're telling us that 175 is a good deal. Now it used to be 150 for the hopper. And so for £3 once a month, I would come here and be with the art. And as I said, it was this interaction with things that survived for so long, that are infused with the spirits of people who were walking this earth so long before I'm here, and now I get to witness all of that. And a lot of them specifically, maybe I will record something in front of the paintings, but obviously I have to keep my voice down, so I don't know how this is going to work, because I want to be respectful. I want others to enjoy the space as much as I enjoy the space. I want to dwell around because I'm so happy being here. But obviously, I'm not gonna do that because I still do understand that the real world is not the internet, and you have to behave a certain way. So that's on etiquette, please. Mm. But in general, this building has always been mm, the heart of the city for me, and it has my heart. Absolutely, it does. Even though they are changing a lot. Again, the main entrance is no longer the main entrance right now. I feel a little bit silly filming in public. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. Oh my god, I don't want to record that again. Um, so the main entrance is not the main entrance at the moment. They send you through the wing, but and also they are now telling me to wear my backpack on my front, which is quite uncomfortable, and I don't like it. But let me okay. I have brought with me. I can't shift the camera to be on the back. That is. Let me put you down. Obviously, I have a bottle of water and I have my notebook. My notebook, that is a special notebook only for poetry and some thoughts. So if you subscribe to my Patreon, I will share them there. And because it is always, I don't like to rush whenever I'm here or in any other museum. Like my other two favorites are Tate Britain and Victoria and Albert, but also the British Museum. I do love them so much, and I love sitting in front of a painting that either I admire the story behind it, that or the story I know very well, or every time I discover something new, every time I come as a changed person, because we change all the time, right? So our perspective on things changes, and that's why visiting the same artworks over and over again actually doesn't get boring, because you come changed and you interpret it in a different way. You look at it with a new perspective, through new experience, through meeting other people and so on. So if there is ever a threat, which I think there is a threat that the entry might be ticketed for a prize, I will be the first one to sign a petition to protect free entry to art, because art should be accessible to others. And I know that restoration and the workforce costs, but this is for the public good. I think this is actually the only thing right now that defends living in London for me: access to free art. Everything else is quite shit, and I am thinking of a way out. So yeah, I will continue in a moment. Let's talk about Madame de Pompadour. She will be the star of one of my songs. And she is, I don't know, this portrait always spoke to me because she's so grand. Obviously the center of the piece, sitting in all those beautiful robes and with the little dog. It's all very, Louis the 15th. She was his mistress, and so she's now behind me. Again, it's so awkward filming in public like that, but I hope you enjoy it. I just want to share my joy of being here. They reorganized the gallery because they are doing some renovations, so it's all very confusing. The paintings that I know where they are completely in different spaces right now, so I am a little bit lost and just wandering around, hoping to spot them. Last time I was here, for example, the Dido building Carthage from Turner was on loan to Tate Britain, and now Madame de Pompadour is right off the main entrance. So a little bit tricky here. But Madame de Pompadour was the mistress of Louis XV. However, she also served after she stopped being his mistress, or she was mistress just by title, not by action, if you know what I mean. She was really responsible for his calendar, for his agendas, and so women could be in government all that time. You know, she was a trusted advisor to him, apparently. Because women are good at organizing shit, and it's so infuriating that men take credit for everything, when actually it is a lot of times, behind every great man there is a great woman, blah blah. It's that taking credit that is so infuriating, why it's always the case when it's like, oh, if being at home with children and taking care of the household was so great, why don't men do it if it's so great? So yeah, Madame de Pompadour is going to be is an inspiration for a song I'm working on. Again, if you are interested, please check out my Patreon, and I'm now entering another room hoping to see some more art that I recognize. Oh yeah, I do. There is Cardinal de Richelieu. That is a very recognizable person. An imposter. And a second imposter. Obviously, I'm joking, they're both by Claude, but the theme and the composition of building on the side, a seaport, and the sun setting and all of that. And here as well, building, seaport, sun. They are so very similar to Turner's Dido building Carthage. And Dido building Carthage is the painting that has inspired the whole idea of the project of making songs about paintings, or making songs inspired by paintings. Dido building Carthage is very similar to this one, but I don't know where it is right now, because as I said before, they are renovating, and so they misplaced a lot of art when they used to be. So I hope that Dido building Carthage is somewhere here and not still in Tate Britain. I checked the website and they didn't say it's on loan anymore, so it should be somewhere here. I hope to find her. But yeah, that theme seems to be very popular among artists at some point. So these two that I just showed you are by Claude, and maybe Turner was inspired by him. And the Dutch and Flemish paintings of flowers is just something that I always admire. They are always so beautiful. And if I ever own my own house, I will get a reprint of one of those, because they are just so hypnotizing, especially with the dark backgrounds and the nature, the detail and the colors is just so beautiful. How are we enjoying my sneaky little vlog while I look like this? And there is Samson. There we go. There was a lady in front that I didn't want to film, because consent and not filming people in public is important. So this is Rubens. It's so majestic to see it in real life, gives you the appreciation of the sheer size of this painting and all the detail. There was some group trip that came into that room with Samson in, so I scattered to the nearby one. I can't promise great acoustics as always, and in general I have to sneak so much. I feel so cringe and embarrassing, but hey, I think this is a public service, to be fair, and maybe a little bit of an encouragement to visit some art. and I keep looking there where the camera is here. I'm sorry, I'm not used to filming in horizontal on my phone yet. But anyway, Samson and Delilah, this is such a... I did done some research, as in I watched some YouTube videos about that. And they were an international or maybe even interracial marriage. I don't know if that's the correct way to say this, but she was a Phoenician and he was a Israelite. Israelite? Well, a person from Israel, and and she was a Phoenician, and so obviously their relationship was very frowned upon at the time, and obviously there is her great betrayal of him, that she cuts his hair so that he is weakened before they can ambush him. And as always in the Bible, women are portrayed as I'm lost for words right now, but in general, the Bible, as you know, the Bible is a misogynistic text. Number one, you can either be a pure virgin who miraculously gets pregnant, right? Miraculously, or you are a backstabbing bee. And again, Samson and Delilah, or Delilah, will be a topic of one of the songs. I don't know how to capture them yet. I haven't thought. I don't even have a melody, nor even words or style, whatever. But I want to challenge myself to a project and actually do all those songs instead of getting distracted by, oh my god, I could do this or I do that. Too many options can also be quite bad. And now a few pictures of Da Vinci in the museum, because there was a huge crowd in front of them, as there always is, so I just took pictures and now I'm recording it at home. I had to close the door to my room because my cat was yelling at me to give him lunch, which he unfortunately has to skip today, and he's very unhappy about it. But coming to Da Vinci, first of all, it's really funny when they describe him in the gallery as Leonardo, and I just can't help wondering, what if someone confuses him with DiCaprio? Okay, I'm making jokes that I'm laughing on at myself. But anyway, is it just me, or does Da Vinci feel a little bit creepy? Like his paintings always have something unsettling about them. I don't know if it's the poses, if it's the settings, if it's the lighting, if it's the technique or the darker colors that he usually chooses. But there is always something that lurks, that is like the shadow side of whatever it is that he's trying to actually portray. Like he's telling us that he is, showing us Mary on the rocks, but actually it's like some deeper story there, some sadness, some darkness that is quite unspoken in there. I don't know. But I wanted to show you some Da Vinci because his painting that is in Louvre of John the Baptist is one of the inspiration as well for my songs. So that's why I wanted to include some Da Vinci as well. Do not confuse with DiCaprio. And there is my Dido. Oh my god, how I missed you, because I didn't visit her at Tate Britain when she was on loan. But here she is, back at the National Gallery, where she belongs, in this beautiful crossing between the rooms. This building is just so incredible. And this is the painting that started it all. Back to me, but with Dido behind me, maybe this way. So she started this whole shebang with me writing songs about paintings or being inspired by paintings. So in general, I've always been inspired by paintings. There are people behind me. Okay, I'm sitting down like a good girl because there are too many people. And again, I don't want to disrupt them having the time of their life in the museum. So the thing with Dido, and that painting especially, is when I first saw it, I got hypnotized by the sun and the sky in the painting. I wish I could... Well, actually, there's no people in front of it right now. So let's go back. Yay! Okay, so as you can see, the sun is absolutely fantastic. So when you have the sun and this kind of going away, this yellow turning to pale yellow, turning into the sky, this kind of flipping of colour. When I first saw it, and then I saw it again and again and again, I thought to myself that I will meet my soulmate if they have that kind of aura. It sounds so silly, but if their aura is like sun in that painting, like that sun turning into the sky, this yellow turning to white, turning to blue, I will know I have found my person. It's very silly of me, I know, it's very romantic and all of that, but I really stop following me. I don't want people's faces in my videos. I'm trying to respect your privacy. So, so yeah, that's why this painting is so important. And here we have another imposter by Claude. And obviously they are not imposters because Claude lived like a century and a half before Turner. But because I saw Turner's painting first and got absolutely gobsmacked by it, everything else on the same theme like this one is an imposter to me. And you know who we must find now? I completely forgot because I got overwhelmed about all the changes and seeing the paintings yet again and being here. Lady Jane Grey. She is one of the heroines for the songs as well. I started working on it actually yesterday. And then I got so full of doubt that I decided to book a ticket to be here today and see her too. But where is she? And there she is, Lady Jane Grey. They actually moved her right behind Dido. I just didn't notice that before. But again, seeing the painting in real life, instead of just a reproduction or a picture, gives you the sheer size of it, because it is really, really big. I need to step away a little bit, because again, there is, as always, a crowd there. There's always a crowd in the National Gallery, which is great. I love that. But that portrait, that painting, is so heartbreaking. I think I always known that, but looking at it right now, it's right there. Sorry, I can't show you anymore because there's a lot of people I want to respect their privacy again. The painting in itself is beautiful. It is so well done. The fabric of her dress, the jewels of the ladies in waiting, the detail of the characters in the painting, the background. It's so well done, and I think because it's so well done, it hits you so much harder, right? She is all in white. She is only 17 years old, I think, and it is all because of men. She got killed because men wanted to put her on the throne, to get the throne for themselves, and she was imprisoned in Tower of London for a year after Mary took the throne. But because there was an uprising in her name that she didn't even instigate, Mary had to kill her because they would have kept being. Oh my God, the English grammar is not my friend here. There would have been uprisings in her name, and so she needed to be eliminated, which is tragic because Jane herself said that she didn't want the throne, she didn't want the crown, she was pushed into it, manipulated into it. She was so young that obviously she was not a great political mastermind or even ambitious enough. to want the throne. So she died for someone else's ambition. And I think that is the most tragic, because it is a story of so many women throughout history that literally lose their lives because they are treated as pawns in men's game in hierarchy. And again, Jane Grey, that painting will be is an inspiration for a song that I'm writing. If you want to help support me, please support me on my Patreon for that. And I need to go sit down and sit with my thoughts. So now I am at St. James's Park after almost 3 hours at the museum, just wandering around, wandering about art and history, life, my place in the universe, my anxieties and all of that. So I am now having a little bit of lunch at the park. Obligatory sitting in the shade because it's 30 degrees right now, but I have my homemade sandwich. I actually learned how to make that bread recently, so it's a homemade bread as well. I have some water with me, which I refilled at the gallery. So actually, you can have a 3-day out in the National Gallery and the park with some lunch that you bring from home. You only have to pay for TfL, which had severe delays on my way here, but you know, the ticket costs the same. Hey, yeah, it's such a pleasant day. It's a little bit too hot, but I think this is the world that we inherited at the moment. I saw some a black swan, which I haven't seen in ages, and it was so great. Take a look. And I saw the pelican as well. I heard the news recently that there were some new pelican chicks actually born here in the St. James's, but I haven't seen them. I hope they're well. So I'm gonna have my lunch now, and see you. Yeah, I really need to work on my on my vlogging days, and everything is collapsing around me. Okay, so I failed to film any satisfying conclusion or closure to that video, which I am now trying to haphazardly repair, patch up at home. So may I please offer you the story of the golden calf. This is a painting that is in the National Gallery as well. I realized recently that I take biblical knowledge or knowledge about Christianity for granted because I come from a Catholic country and I went to a Catholic school. But a lot of my friends that come from more secular countries don't actually know a lot of biblical stories. So it is my pleasure to share the knowledge that has been drilled into me against my will. So the golden calf goes as such. So you know that in the Old Testament and in general the Bible has its chosen people. So the chosen people were given the 10 commandments from their God by Moses. And so one day Moses left them for 40 days to go to a mountain to chat to their God. And during that time they started to freak out that they don't have anything to worship. So they built that calf and started worshipping that. However, that broke one of the 10 commandments from the God, which is, thou shalt not worship any God but me. And so God, being a typical guy, his fragile ego couldn't handle that, and so he stranded them in the desert for 40 years. Subscribe!